The Das and Don'ts Retro newsletter proudly presents this story from issue number 1, published November 1st of 2023.
Retro Living in a Modern World is a monthly column by Grizzly Adam. This month's installment is called Out of My Time. You wouldn't think it to look at me, but I actually have quite a bit in common with Captain America. For instance, we are both handsome, middle-aged men that look quite good in a fashion cape. But more than that, we are both men out of our time. For those that don't know, Cap was frozen in suspended animation in the 1940s and was revived in modern times. Myself, I am from the present, but spend every weekend in the late 1980s. You see, I have a portal to the past, and I keep it in my basement. Okay, so it's a retro room. My love of old computers, video game systems, and other hallmarks of a bygone era have finally manifested themselves into a live-in museum of obsolescence. From the blue carpet to the fluorescent lighting, the artificial plants to the assortment of electronics and wrestling magazines, everything in this room has been carefully selected to further the illusion that you have just walked into the long ago. But two items stand out in my mind more than the rest: the console television and my laptop computer. The console television, a Curtis Mathis with a 25-inch screen, was manufactured in March of 1987. My grandparents purchased it at Don's TV and Appliance in Waterloo, Iowa, shortly after. It served them without issue until I took it off of Grandma's hands earlier this year. It is in great shape and has a good picture. Of course, I also appreciate its history. This is the TV that I used to watch NWA Main Event on. This is the TV that my brother and I first stumbled across Banana Man on Nickelodeon. This is the TV that I watched my first Queen concert on back in 1994. Even now, it continues to bring me joy. Also in 1987, Compaq produced their first laptop, the SLT-286. Stock with a 12 MHz processor, 640 kilobytes of RAM, and a paper white monochrome display, this laptop had a few upgrade options. First and foremost, 3 RAM expansion slots were available to hold up to 4 MB each or over 12 MB total. Other upgrade options included a 8287 coprocessor, both 8 and 12 MHz models were compatible, a 2400 bit per second internal modem, and various sizes of hard disk. My model has the modem and a total of 1.6 MB of RAM. I have not yet opted for the 8287 because they did not seem to be widely supported by the software of the day. I did decide to use a 64 MB compact flash card as my hard disk to ensure reliability down the road, but that is not something you would otherwise notice. This model of laptop has remained quite affordable, and I believe it is due to its Achilles heel, the Dallas 1287 combination real-time clock and CMOS. This 24-pin IC has an internal battery that is inaccessible due to it being actually epoxied into the chip. What's worse, Compaq went against Dallas's recommendations and soldered the chip directly to the board. The end result is that now this model of laptop needs a delicate surgery to extract the old 1287 and to replace it with a modern remake of the chip, with an externally accessible battery, of course. I have performed this operation. It is easy to murder an otherwise living board when attempting this procedure. Don't try this at home unless you feel very confident about your soldering skills. Even with this difficulty, I am fairly happy with my choice of computer. I enjoy being able to have the computer on my lap, as the name implies, while I am otherwise engaged in watching television, conversing, or performing other tasks from the comfort of my lazy boy recliner. My favorite part is using the modem to connect to the information superhighway. And that will be the topic of next month's Retro Living in a Modern World.
About Grizzly Adam. Grizz is one of those eccentrics that you read about. The type that people say marches to the beat of their own drum. His hobbies include writing, computers, electronics, telephone systems, pyromania, and lawn care. Grizz's website can be found at grizz.atwebpages.com.
The Das and Don'ts team consists of Grizzly Adam, editor, publisher, writer; Jon Mullin, assistant editor, writer; Plendlful, consulting editor; Joe Collett, associate publisher, writer; BlueMSX, writer. Visit our website at dasanddontstopmywebcommunity.org. And don't forget to write to us, submit your retro memory, or, most importantly, sign up for the newsletter. The Das and Don'ts Retro newsletter is published the first of each month. Subscribers get early access.